Hello everybody, this is DeanoGTO, and today we're going to be looking at the brand new Tier 6 premium vehicle, the first Polish vehicle ever to be introduced into the game. Although technically that's not true, but it's the first it's the first Polish nation vehicle. Like the T3045 Rudy, if you don't know, that's I believe it technically a Polish vehicle, but the problem with that there is, well, it's in the Russian tree, and so it doesn't really count. So this is technically the first the first technically Polish vehicle into the game that's been introduced into the game. So kind of a cool vehicle to have in the game right now. So what do you need to know about the Pudel? The Pudel is pretty much a Tier 7 Panther, down tiered, reduced health, and just with the upgraded engine, everything else is stock as far as I'm aware. So that pretty much sums up like what the Pudel is going to be like. Except it's a Tier 6, so that means that it's pretty much going to have more effective armor versus Tier 6s than it is going to have versus than would have typically versus Tier 7s, Tier 8s, Tier 9s. So this thing will meet maximum Tier 8s in comparison to the Tier 7 Panther meeting Tier 9s. But this thing only gets the L70 150 pen gun in comparison to the Tier 7 Panther getting the Clown gun, the L100 with the 190 pen, wherever it has. But yeah. So, why am I talking about the Pudel today? So, there's something a little dodgy Wargaming is doing with their pricing system, or with their bundle system for the Pudel in particular. Like, this is the first time they've done this here, and I think we need to call them out on it now before they make this a trend. So, if you remember, the Thunderbolt 7, the Tiger 131, they came with one of the Brothers in Arms crews that had 100% crew training, and it had a 5% boost thanks to Brothers in Arms. So you're pretty much buying a free Brothers in Arms crew for your tank. And Wargaming, for some reason, has decided to do this. So the Pudel Standard Edition does not get a Brothers in Arms crew. But if you pay more money into the game, you do get the 100% crew. So what they've done essentially is locked the 100% trained crew for the Pudel behind a higher paywall, which is, in my opinion, a pretty shitty thing to do. I don't like that they've done this. I think it's pretty sketchy, if I'm completely honest. Like, this is why I'm calling this out now before this becomes potentially a trend. I think it's just very dodgy because, like, as I said, things like the Tiger 131, things like the Thunderbolt 7, they did come with the 100% crew and the Brothers in Arms thing with the standard bundle. And as far as I'm aware, this thing actually might be a little more expensive than the Thunderbolt 7 was. I can't remember the exact price of the Tiger 131. But I think this thing might be a little more expensive than the Thunderbolt 7 was. I think I remember the Thunderbolt 7 being like $14.85 or something. So this thing is more expensive, I think, and also lacks the crew that the Thunderbolt 7 got with it. So what this means is you're essentially going to be getting a 50% crew. So you would need to pay say if you want to avoid doing the whole grind for the crew and getting 100% and all that crap. You would need to spend an extra 1,000 gold, providing it's not like a reduced training cost weekend or something like that. It would be a further 1,000 gold to get it to 100%. And even when you get it to 100%, that means that you will still be at a disadvantage because you will not have Brothers in Arms. And as far as I'm aware, this works exactly the same way that Thunderbolt 7, all those tanks did. So it's a 0 scale, which means you always have it, and it's basically like the base skill for the tank, as in like your first, like say if you have the Brothers in Arms crew, like one of these crews, if you train repairs, that would train as if it was the first skill on any normal tank. Whereas any other tank that has Brothers in Arms, if you put another crew skill on after Brothers in Arms, that would be treated as the second skill. With one of these crews, it's treated as the first skill, so it trains significantly faster. So yeah, I think this is pretty dodgy, and I think the only way for Wargaming to really fix these sort of scenarios and like avoid basically a player revolt, because these crews are honestly pretty pay to win. I have a couple of these crews. There's like, I think there's one of them that I really used for a long time. I have one for the tortoise, but I sold the tortoise ages ago and never really used that crew from that point on. I had one for the Russians. I think it was in my Object 140 briefly, but I only played that thing for about 50 games and I sold it. Um, then there was the American one. The American one I just kept exclusive to the Thunderbolt 7. It has not left the Thunderbolt 7 since I got it, because I just don't feel like I should really give myself an advantage over other people just because I paid money into the game. Like I'll keep the advantage in the tank that I bought, but I won't I won't add it on to like tier 10s and stuff like that. I might do it. I might put it in the tier 9 pattern or something like that if I decide to keep that. Depending on how the changes go for that tank in the future. I don't know. I haven't really 100% decided, but as of this point in time, right now, that crew has remained exclusive to the Thunderbolt 7. So yeah. So I honestly think there needs to be some method of obtaining these types of crews in a free-to-play manner. So I think the best way of doing this here would potentially be to have like the mission that we have currently right now for the heavy tank number 6, where you have to earn a certain amount of XP, be in a certain position, be in between a certain position in the team, and you'll get a mission completed. And the final mission allows you to unlock a heavy tank number 6. And if you have it already, you get a ton of credits for it. You get like 1.5 million, which is something I'm going for because honestly, right now I have no credits right now, and I spent some of it on the French Tier 7 tank destroyer, which I will talk about in a different video. Because there's something that Wargaming is doing in regards to the French TD line, which is a bit unique. So, I'll get to that there in a different video though. So, I think there needs to be some sort of mission in the form of like a heavy tank number 6 style of missions. Like I said, once every 3 months, for like a 3 month period, you have a chance to potentially get one of these crews. You have a chance to get say as an example 5 crew members. You can then choose at the very end of the mission, whenever the mission's over, you can choose to like, oh yeah, I want this crew for this nation or this nation or this nation, and you could just train that crew into whatever crew you like. So I think that would be probably the best way of doing it. That would allow you to like say if you only get 3 crew members, then that would allow you to put it into the Swedish TDs or the Swedish heavies or something like that. Or if you get 5 crew members, then that would allow you to put it into say a German medium or potentially most of the German heavies except the tier 10s. So yeah, I think that would probably be the best way of doing it. Like I said, once every 3 months. So a 3 month period, you can get one of these crews, like 5 members potentially, but it gets increasingly more difficult the more crew members you get. So the first one's relatively easy to obtain. Second one gets a little more difficult. Third one gets more difficult. The fourth one gets even more difficult, and the fifth one is maximum difficulty. So I think that would be the best way of doing it, and it would allow it would put a cap on the amount of people who are actually going to have one of these crews because you would need to work for it. You would need to actually. It would also give some incentive for people to actually put a bit more effort into playing well in the game, because I think the Heavy Tank number 6 mission right now is a pretty good mission style because it's really interesting to try and like aim for a certain spot on the team to try and get to get the XP to get towards the next mission and stuff like that. There, like it really gives you a bit of an incentive to like try and play better and try and get more XP in your games. No, and I feel like this should do this sort of mission system like this mission system here. I feel like this should do for the these Brothers in Arms crews. I feel like that would be a good compromise because I feel like the free to play players need some sort of crew like this here for themselves, like some way of obtaining this sort of crew because these crews are a gigantic advantage to the paying players. They really, really are. It's almost on like I almost say it's almost on the level of like premium ammunition, but it's not that far beneath that there. If you know what I mean, like the premium ammunition give like a blatant advantage. It's not quite as bad as premium as gold ammunition being only available for people paying gold into the game, but it's still pretty freaking bad. And I really do think there needs to be a way for people to obtain these crews in some sort of free to play manner. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I really need to say on this here. Like I really don't like how they've done this here, and I'm tempted not to buy this vehicle purely because of the way they've decided to do this. who knows? Like, if this all turns out to be wrong and this thing here does have one of these crews, like, I still stand by my points. I still stand by the free to play method of obtaining one of these crews and then allowing you to choose the nation or something like that there for it. But yeah, I still think this is very like it's a bit off-putting. I don't like the way they're doing this here, honestly, at the moment. So yeah. So let me know in the comment section below, like, what you think of these kind of like crews, like these kind of like crews. Do you think they're overpowered? Do you think they're giving a blatant advantage to the paying players in comparison to the free-to-play players? And would you like some sort of way, some sort of method to obtain one of these crews in a free-to-play manner instead of having to pay money in order to get one of these crews, which is blatantly better than the crews you can get normally in the game? So yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything I really need to say. So let me know your opinions and your thoughts on this here in the comment section below. And just a side note, this video here, the World of Tanks How to Play Pudel, is honestly the best tutorial Wargaming has ever put out. Like, it genuinely gives you all the details on like how the game mechanics work. So I don't know why this isn't just a tutorial in the game, just standard, because it genuinely tells you how to do pretty much everything in the game. And I genuinely like this tutorial, and I think this should be like the tutorial like whenever you're downloading the game. So yeah. But yeah, got a wee bit sidetracked there, but yeah, let me know in the comment section below, and I think I'm going to end this video off here. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.